We got a great continuation this week from last week. David Plummer came last week and was talking about coaching and building your business. And man, all through my career in real estate, I've been in real estate for 30 years. And one thing that I've noticed is the top agents, the ones making the most money, the ones having the consistency in their business, have had coaches in their life. And even when they hit the top, they get coaches. And sometimes they get different coaches based on the levels they get to. So getting coaching, getting a direction in your business is the way to grow it. And we're happy to have David Plummer come back for part 2 of his session this week. But before we get started in that, whygrowglobal.com. That is your resource for trainings and bringing people to these events and seeing last week's. If you want to go back and revisit last week's training, go to whygrowglobal.com. It's recorded there. And so we're real excited to have David Plummer back with us and come up, and he's got some great offerings for you later on in this event too. So stay tuned till the end. He's going to let you have those. But David, we're going to turn it over to you and let you continue on with part 2 of your fantastic training program.
Well, as always, thank you, Rob and Kim, Big John. Jim's not on here yet, huh? Okay, well, I'll tell Jim that too. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. There we go. Not letting me share.
You showing the screen share at the bottom?
Yeah, it's not. There we go. Let's see. There we go.
All right.
At first it didn't. All righty. All right. Well, welcome everybody to Grow Global, where we grow your business, grow your network, and grow your life. My name is David Plummer. I'm honored, I'm humbled, grateful, and thankful that the crew, the leadership has invited me back to do part 2 of the workshop. If you missed last week, I'll go over in a second. But first, I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean Happy New Year? My real estate New Year starts on October 1st. That's tomorrow. So this is New Year's Eve. So we're all coming together on New Year's Eve. Why do I do that? Because I believe the most crucial months of the year for realtors are October, November, December. Why? Because I want you to finish the year strong. But more importantly, I want you to build tremendous momentum moving into 2025. I want you taking listings. I want you opening up escrows, taking loans, closing escrows, putting buyers in homes in January. I do not want you getting started in January. If you wait till January to get started, you won't earn any income until maybe late February, March, or April. You basically have forfeited the first quarter. This is why we have Happy New Year on October 1st. This is why we do the strategic business planning on the second week of September. Now, what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you part of my workbook, and we'll talk about the workbook later. And I'm going to show you what it looks like to be filled out, because 45 minutes is not enough time to do it. But what we're going to do is the offer at the end, I'll let John tell you about the offer, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. I want to show you what it looks like. All right? So let's get started here. Just a quick review from last Monday. So I live in Las Vegas, Nevada since 2021. I moved from California, Southern California. I've been in the real estate business for nearly 44 decades. I started to say 40 decades. That's actually 40 years. I started and still run a title business. I started training agents 30 years ago. I've trained over 150,000 agents. Started my coaching practice in 2011. I've closed over 48,000 title transactions. So I know a little bit about getting us paid, getting deals closed. I have several clients who earn over $1 million per year. Last Monday, we discussed the following. Nothing in real estate works unless you work. Nothing happens until you work. And my definition of work is two. My acronym is where opportunity really kicks off. When you go to work every day, it's amazing the good things that happen. And the other one is work equals DP3. Now I'm known as Coach DP3, so it's not work equals David Plummer III. Work equals daily prospecting 3 hours a day. That's what work is. So when you hear me use the word work, it means did you prospect for at least 3 hours that day? So then we spent a lot of time talking about your purpose. Why are you in this business? What do you want to get out of this business? This is the greatest business in the world. And I'm telling you, this is a business where you can make more money than lawyers and doctors and all these people with these great educations who spent years getting educated, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can do the same thing. I always tell people, I keenly say, 18 years old, high school graduate, I can have you making $200,000-$300,000 in a couple of years. And that's real talk. We talked about my success formula of 4W, 1H, 1Y. Why are you here? Where are you doing business? Who's your audience or target market? What is your action plan? How are you going to do this? And when are you going to get started? And I ask you, if you were here last week, I ask you to define your life purpose. I ask you to write your vision statement because it takes time to figure out, what's my vision statement? And so to help you with the vision statement, what are your dreams? What are your reasons? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What are your desires, your wishes, your thirst, your hunger, your fantasies, your thoughts, your values, your standards? That's where your vision statement comes from. Who do you want to be? Right? Who do you want to be? When people look at you, do they know who you are? If they look at you and they just say, "Oh, she's a real estate agent," that's not cool. There's 1.345 million of you. There's probably 3 million, half of them are not realtors, but they have a license. So what you want is, what makes me different? And how do I present that to the world, to the globe, grow global? How do I present that? Right? So here we go. So quick forecast. I don't make a lot of forecasts, but I thought I wanted to share this with you just so that you would understand that I believe most real estate agents think entirely too small. Oh, if I could just make $50,000, $100,000, that'd be great. And that's not nearly enough money. That's gonna make you broke. I don't care where you live. You're gonna be broke making $50,000. When you pay 25% to taxes and 20% to the broker or whatever you pay to them, and you end up with 25, 30,000, not a lot of money. So I want you to start thinking about this. Total transactions in 2023, 4.0, 2024 is anticipated to be 4.1. Now, what they're saying is in 25 through 27, it's going to grow global to 4.5 to 5 million. 5. That means there's going to be an extra 500,000 to 1.5 million transactions. You want a piece of that, okay? You definitely want a piece of that. Total realtors in 2023 was 1.5. It was 1.65 during the pandemic. It dropped to 1.4, and they're anticipating it's going to drop again to about 1.2, 1.3. Less competition. Average sales price in the United States, 435, dropped a little bit to 412. They're anticipating it going back up to 425 or better. Interest rates dropped down. I just saw on CNN, I think Friday or Saturday, where they said the average interest rate in the United States now is 6.02. That's the lowest it's been in 2 years. Believe me, by the end of the year, it's going to be around 5.7, 5.5. It's going to bring a lot of people back into the business. It's going to bring a lot of a lot of buyers back into the game. It's a lot easier to pay that mortgage at 5.5 than it is at 7.5. All right. Now, total commissions paid in 2023 it was about 60 to 70 billion. 2024, 55 to 65 billion. There's going to be $100 billion in play come the next 2 to 3 years. I need you in the game. I need you thinking about how much of this $100 billion do I want over the next 2 or 3 years. There will be plenty of opportunities, business, checks to be earned for those who show up and do the hard stuff every day. It's time to get started. It's go time. It's time to quit playing small with this, right? I need you to stop playing small. So here's my workbook. It's called Unlocking Your Future, the 2025 Strategic Real Estate Life and Business Plan Workbook. I'm going to show you 4 or 5 pages out this workbook today. It's 32 pages. And so there's going to be an offer at the end for those of you who want to go further with this. And if you purchase the book, we'll talk about it in the end. I'm going to do a 3-hour seminar on how to fill out the book. So what I'm going to show you today is about 4 or 5 pages filled out, what it looks like. All right. So here we go. Quick facts. 80 to 85% of realtors started 2024 without a real estate business plan. That's real talk. That is real talk. Most agents, they just sell real estate. My coaching clients, I tell them, we are running a multi-million-dollar real estate business. We are not just selling real estate. Anybody can just sell real estate. But if you want to be uber successful in this business, if you want to be a beast, a superstar, a rock star in this business, you started with a plan. NAR report the average realtor sold 4 to 6 homes in a previous year. That's not a lot. Depending on where you live, that could be like $20,000 in commission. That could be $30,000 in commission. Not a lot. That's why I say most agents think too big. The average top producer works on average 200 to 225 days a year. I said work. They work in and on their business 200 to 225 days, meaning they show up every day and they go to work. They don't take days off. You see, you can't earn a lot of money taking days off. Yeah, you can take the weekends off. That's great. You can take a holiday off. I mean, you can get your vacation time in. But are you showing up to work Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday if possible? Right? It's funny. We're getting towards the holidays. And I always tell people as we get to the holidays, I have a Chick-fil-A schedule. If Chick-fil-A is open, David Plummer's working. So if you don't know about Chick-fil-A, you get the holidays off and they're off on Sunday. But every other day they're working. That's my schedule during the holidays. That's why I tell you guys, this is my most important 3 months. I want to end this year strong and build tremendous motivation going into 2025. And so I spend a lot of time. I can take vacation time in January, February, whenever. But the next 3 months, starting tomorrow, when the new year hits us tomorrow, I'm all business, right? I'm all business. So we start off the workbook with a contract. I make all my coaching clients sign a contract. The contract says I'm totally committed to my strategic real estate life and business plan in 2025 and beyond. You date it, you put your full name, your phone number, your email, and then you put down how much money you want to earn. Now it says in 2025, no matter what, no excuses. See, what I found out in life is you can't earn money and make excuses. It's oil and water. They do not mix. You're either going to make excuses about why you're not doing this business, or you're going to get your butt in gear and go earn some serious money, because this is serious money. I mean, real estate money is serious money. How many people do you know working a job make $525,000? Probably not many. There aren't many. The average income for a working American is around $50,000, $60,000. And it's a lot less for a person of color. For a person of color, it's like $40,000 to $45,000. So you don't have too many people who can earn $525,000, but you can. How many of you know a realtor who's making over $500,000? Probably if you've been in this business long enough, you know people who are earning over $500,000. All right. Now, here's something I love to do. I do it all the time, and it's called enlarge your vision. As I said, there's $70 billion on the table with millions and millions of dollars within your grasp. And I say, what I ask people to do is in this first box, I ask you to put the most money you've ever made. I don't care where you made it. On a job in real estate, you put the most money that you've ever made. And then I ask you to multiply that by 10 or add a 0. Right? And so that 105 becomes 1,050,000. And then I'll ask you this. How would your life change if you made $1,050,000, if the most you ever made was 105? And now you made $1,050,000. How would your life change? Probably your address would change. Where you eat would change. Where your vacation would change. The clothes you wear, the car you drive. Your bank account would change. The gift you give, the amount of money you can tithe to church, you give to your charities would all change. See, quit thinking about 105 and start thinking about $1,050,000 when there's $70 billion up for grabs. I put down here, real estate is serious and this is special money. And you can earn this money. I don't care where you live. There's somebody earning $500,000 to $1 million selling real estate in your community, in your area, in your state. They're all over the place and they're no different than you. The only difference is they do the work 200 to 250 days out the year. So I put down here $10 million at 2.5 is 250,000. 20 million at 2.5 is $500,000. $30 million in sales at 2.5 is 750,000, and $40 million in sales at 2.5 is $1 million. Now I understand some of you are gonna make 3 to 3.5%, some of you are gonna make 5%, some of you are gonna make 1.5%. It doesn't matter. Think about how many millions do I have to sell to get my number? Because that's part of the business plan, right? Now let's keep it pushing. So one of the things that I do is I believe that most people don't know what their monthly expenses are. They're just spending money. And when you do that, that's what keeps you broke. The great Stephanie Gillison said last week, she was brilliant. I was on Wednesday when she did her talk. She said, the way to generate wealth is when you know your money, when you own your money. And most people don't know how much money they spend. So in the workbook, I'm going to ask you, I need you to write down all your expenses. I need you to know how much money you need to make. I get so many people who tell me, I want to make 100,000. And I'll just say, well, what's your monthly expenses? Oh, it's about $6,000 or $7,000 a month. I said, well, 100,000 is not enough money for you. After you pay your broker, you pay taxes, you're going to be spending credit cards just to survive. But when you know your money, it's good. So part of it says, what are your housing expenses? And there it is. What are your housing expenses? Cable bills, utilities, maintenance fees, cell phone, etc. What's your food bill? I'm going to let you know something. In April, I said, I wonder how much we spend on food. So it's 3 of us. It's my son and my wife. So every day I got a little notebook. And whenever I spent any money, I write in my notebook. If it was groceries, if I was eating out, if I bought a cup of coffee, I would put it in a notebook. I was flabbergasted by the amount of money I spent. I personally alone, in April of this year, spent over $1,900 on food. Had no clue. That doesn't even account my wife and my son the amount of money. So I'm going to say we probably spent $2,500 on food. Going to the grocery store, eating out, buying 31 flavors ice cream, going to get some gas and getting a bag of chips and a soda or something. Almost $2,500. Had no clue that much money was going out in food. I would challenge you to do this because most of you don't know how much money. Here's a little tip for you. I read something that says that the average working American spends between $3,000 and $3,500 on lunch alone every year. That's a lot of money. And they said the average family of 4 either brings in dinner or goes out to eat dinner 19 times a month. It's a lot of money. If you're eating out at all, you know how expensive it is to eat out now, right? It's so funny. I was laughing because Subway used to have a $5 footlong. Remember $5 footlong? Now that footlong is $8. A little bit of inflation. I saw the other day, $7.99 for a footlong special. I'm going, it used to be $5. All right, but neither here nor there. Transportation, what's your car notes? What's your gas? What's your insurance? Medical expenses, personal insurance, family care. I put zeros for me. This is not mine, by the way. Mine is a lot less. I put personal care, clothing, and personal hygiene, products and services. And then I put down here loans and credit cards, entertainment, travel, vacation. So when it's all said and done, I added all this up. And I have this thing I call RISE accounts, and it's very important. So RISE account means the R is for retirement and recreation. The I is for investment, both personal and business. The S is for savings to invest, surplus, secret, and spouse. I have a spouse fund because my wife is always running out of money and she's always got her hand out. And so I always got to put something in her hand to get her through the month. So we got spouse money. Then the E is for emergencies, education, entertainment. I put money in all four of these accounts. So I just put 1,000, 2,000, 1,000. So when it was all said and done, my monthly expenses, these over here, was 9,600. And when I put the RISE account in here, it was 14,000, which meant that with paying taxes, I'd have to net about $23,000 a month. Right? There it is. Total for the year would be 276,000. I would challenge all of you to do this, because I'll guarantee most people don't know how much money they need to run their household. So this is a very important page, because now if I need to net $23,000 a month, that means I need to make about 276,000. So I can't put on my paper 100,000 or 150 because I'm falling short. Let's get to the next one. The next one says, what are your operating expenses? What does it take to run your business? Most people, and I'll go as far as to say 95 to 98% of realtors out there don't know what their operating expenses are. They've never sat down and said, okay, what does it take for me to run my business? I need to make 250,000. I need to make 500,000. What is it going to take for me to do that? And I just threw down some stuff in here. Monthly, I put coaching and marketing materials and postage and phone dialer. Oh, I doubled up on postage. Okay, 1,000 for an assistant, cell phone, office fees. That, and that came to about $2,500. Now, you may not have these expenses. Like I said, I just put them on here as an example of what it looks like. And then I said, well, what are the quarterly? And again, I got subscriptions. I got taxes. You got to pay your taxes, every quarter, or you should be. I got office expenses, $500. So again, a little bit of money. And then board dues. But bottom line was, the number was 86,000. 86,000 to run your business. Now, like I said, some of you won't have a lot of this stuff. Maybe you don't have an assistant, so that knocks off 12 grand. Maybe you're not in a coaching program, that knocks off another 6. So, but what if this was $50,000? What if this was $40,000? You now have to add this on top of this, because this is personal expenses, this is business expenses. So in my example here, I'm sitting right now, I'm sitting at around $360,000 that I need to earn. Just to have a lifestyle, do the things I want to do and run my business the way I want to run it, I'm sitting at about $360,000. So now let's get to the business plan. And this is the most important, because now I know I need $300,000. I put here my total net income should be $400,000. I just did the math. The math says that I need $360,000. I just rounded up to 400. So what's my gross? My gross is 500,000. Why? I got to pay my broker. What if I have to pay my broker 20%? That's the difference between net, what I want in my pocket, and what I need to earn to put this in my pocket, with what I have to pay my broker. And then I said, what's your average listing price? And I put 400,000. Now, mind you guys, I'm from California and Las Vegas. Our average sales price in Vegas is like 500,000. Our average sales price in California is 800,000. So these numbers look a whole lot different when I put 800,000 in there than I put 400. But I wanted to make this for the globe. I wanted this for the United States mainly. And I put my average commission is 2.5. So my average commission check is going to be about 10 grand. In order for me to make $500,000, I got to close 50 deals or $20 million in real estate. Point blank. I have to wake up every day knowing I gotta close a deal a week, or I gotta do $20 million in sales. I might throw some commercial deals in there. I might throw some larger deals in there, some smaller deals, but I gotta come up with $20 million in sales. How many listings is that? I put about 45 listings. That's 4 a month. Is it possible to do one listing a month in your community? Do you see that many listings come up? 1 a week, 2, 3, 4 a month. Is it possible? Absolutely. I just told you that in the United States, there's going to be 4.5 million deals done next year. 4.5 million transactions. That's going to be 8 to 9 million commission checks. And all I'm saying is you need 50. You need 50 out of 9 million. If you're willing to do the work, you can make it happen. You got to understand this. 80% of you realtors are not working. And I hate to say that, but you're just not working. You're just not showing up every day. You're not prospecting. You're not marketing. You're not branding. Ask yourself. I'm not putting anybody on the spot. Ask yourself, how much prospecting did you do last week? And I don't want you to answer, just to yourself. And let's go back, because we're at the end of the month here. It's September 30th. How much prospecting or marketing or advertising, branding, social media posts, emails, texts, door knocks, mailers did you send out in September? Right? So again, most agents are not working. It's a gold mine out there for agents who want to go to work. I do a thing every Friday called the Listing Club, and I bring together about 12, 13, 14 agents. And all we do is mastermind for an hour and a half, but they have to do an accountability. And I'll guarantee you every single week, at least 6, 7, 8 of them have done something. They put something in, they put a contract in escrow, they closed an escrow, they did a loan, they did something. Every single week, out the 13, at least half, and as many as 7 or 8 of them, 9 of them are putting something in escrow, taking a listing. Why? Because that listing club forces them to work. See, and when you show up to work every day, good things happen. See, the God that I serve does not let me work this hard and not give me the money I deserve. He's an abundant God. He said, hey, you do the work, I'll get you paid. Stuff will just fly at you from all when you're doing the work, when you show up every day and do the work. So I put how many appointments. I also always put how many what your cancellation rate is, because not every listing sells, and some people cancel a listing for whatever reason. You notice it said listing business plan. Not that I don't want you working with buyers, but listing agents just make more money. They have more leverage. They got more opportunities. They can do so much more. I always tell you this. No one knows who represents the buyer. Well, escrow and title knows who represents the buyer. The lender knows, but nobody else knows. Everybody knows who got the listing. The signs in the front yard, it's in the MLS, it's being advertised, it's on Facebook and Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's everywhere. So everybody knows who got the listing. You get worldwide recognition when you get a listing, but nobody knows who represents the buyer. Right? So just understand that. This listing, this being a listing agent, a listing realtor has power, has clout, has a lot of it, right? So appointment, 1 or 2 appointments a week, 1 or 2 appointments a week. What if I told you on Monday and Tuesday, all you could do was prospect until you got 2 or 3 appointments for the week? Is that possible? Is that possible to prospect for 6, 7, 8 hours on Monday, 6, 7 hours on Tuesday, find 3 appointments for the week, and then convert them appointments into a transaction? See, everything is possible. Everything's on the table here. And I put total percentage of your deals closing 80, total buyer deals 20. See, I'm not staying away from the buyers because you're going to get buyers. When you get listed, you know that buyers come up to you and ask you to represent them. Happens all the time. And with the new NAR agreement, the verdict, there's going to be more of that happening. Listing agents are in a perfect position. When we were talking about the verdict, I used to tell people, if you're a listing agent, it doesn't bother you. You don't have to worry about this. Just become a listing agent. You don't have to worry about it. Let everybody else worry about it. See, the 20% of agents who control the inventory, they're not worried about this. It's the 80% who represent buyers who are worried about this. Become a listing agent. Do the work. So I put down here, this is important, the 5 lead generating audience or targets for my listings, loans, escrows, and buyers. There's 32 possibilities. So I put your database, your database, your sphere of influence. I put a geographic farm. I absolutely love geographic farming. I think it, without a doubt, is one of the best and fastest way to build a long-term business, because nobody, when I say nobody, nobody hits a farm anymore. Nobody sends out the mailers, knocks on the doors, do the open houses in their farm area. And if you pick the right farm area where there's 8, 9, 10 homes being listed every single month, you'll get 2 or 3 of them. And you'll be the dominant agent. I have this thing that I talk about. So I said, take over, intimidate, dominate your farm. I want you going in. I want you to start taking over the marketing. And then I want you to get to the point where you've intimidated all the other realtors to stay away. That's Kim Haas, Campbell's territory. Ain't nobody going. I'm not going up against Kim. She gets all the listings. I hear it all the time. Kim gets all the listings. Kim gets 2 or 3 a month, and there's 10 in there. What about the other 7 that she's not getting? But all they see when they look in the MLS, Kim Hot, Kim Hot, Kim Hot, Kim Hot. So they think that she's the dominant agent. That's the intimidation part. And then the domination part comes in when you are doing 15, 20, 22% of all the listings in that farm. I love geographic farming. Expires for sale by owners. Every single city, county, state has for sale by owners and expires. And then I put absentee owners. I love absentee owners. Why? Because nobody's going after absentee owners. You can't really knock on their doors. You have to send them mail. You have to send them something. I'll guarantee if you pick 500 or 600 absentee owners in your community and you just pound them with material every month, here's a letter, here's a postcard, let them know what's going on. A lot of them are going to end up selling. I would not go after absentee owners under 2 years because a lot of those are investors. A lot of people are flipping property, right? I would go after people who've owned their properties for 3 years or more. If you really want to get to it, 7 years or more, and I would just pound them. I would just pound them. Right? And then I got influencers. Who's your top 25 or 30 people you know who love you, like you, trust you, respect you, want to see you get ahead, want to see you be successful, who are your eyes and ears, who every time someone talks about real estate, their ears perk up and they say, call Rob Campbell. Rob's the best real estate agent in the world. Call him. He'll take care of you. Right? That's what we hear all the time. So you got to have those influencers. Then what are my top 5 lead generation methods? How am I going to prospect? How am I going to target market? How am I going to proactive lead generate? How am I going to acquire clients? How am I going to get customers? Cash calling. I call it cash calling. The world calls it cold calling. Cold calling is so frigid. Cash calling, I'm smiling and dialing. I'm trying to earn some cash here. That's what I'm trying. That's the goal. I'm smiling and dialing. Right? Mailers, every door direct mail, 20 cents a piece. 20 cents a piece. Take over a farm area. 1,000 costs you a couple $100 to mail. Nobody else is doing it. Emails. Do you have an email campaign to your database? I put text message. Are you texting clients? I love video text. I love sending video text. I love sending text messages. I was the last one to get on board with text messaging because I'm an in-your-face kind of person. I love talking to my people. I love seeing them, right? It took me a long time. My son was in college, and I used to call him, and he wouldn't. Then he'd text me back, Dad, what do you need? I go, dude, if you can make a text, you can pick up the phone, right? You want me to pay for college, you got to pick up the phone. But then I had to be in that text world. So I got in that text world. I love open houses. People come to you. If you do it right, people come to you. Clients come to you. Neighbors come to you. If you do it right, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. Most agents do it the wrong way. You got to do it the right way. You got to let people know there's an open house. You can't put up 3 or 4 signs and expect to get 30, 40, 50 people. But if you start marketing your open house on Monday and Tuesday, People will show up on Saturday. I teach people how to have what I call a massive open house, right? And one of the things that I tell people, the little secret for you is you need to have your posse. You need to have 10 or 12 people, again, out of your influencers who will come to your open house, who will make it look busier, who will talk your name up, your family, your friends, some colleagues, your loan person, maybe your escrow person, your title person. Have everybody come out and support your open house. The neighbors are looking at this, right? And they see, wow, there's a lot of people at that open house. What is he or she doing versus the open house down the street where there's 3 people? You got to build that open house. So then I put number L down here, number of monthly opportunities. Opportunities mean how many people am I going to call? How many mailers am I putting out? How many text messages am I putting out? And I put, you got 4,000. Most people, this number is under 200 because most agents are not working. Monthly contacts, how many people can I actually contact? How many phone calls can you make? How many doors can you knock on? How many mailers can you put out? But here's key, M is the key. Number of daily power conversations. How many people are you actually talking to who need to sell, buy, invest, lease, rent, do a loan, or give you a referral? How many? How many of those conversations are you having every day? See, that's the key. The key is how many people are you talking to? And most of us aren't talking to enough. We're not having enough of those conversations, right? Everybody you talk to, I want you to ask this question before you leave them. The last thing you want to ask them is this question right here. Hey, Ray, do you have any plans to do anything in real estate in the next 2 to 3 months that I can help you with? Ask everybody that question. Do you have any plans to do anything in real estate in the next quarter that I can help you with? Do you have any plans to do anything in real estate in 2025 that I can help you with? In other words, are you downsizing? Are you relocating? Do you need to move out of that condo and move into a house? Do you need to do a refinance? Because I'll get my lender to help you with that, right? Are you planning on doing anything? Do you need a trust? Anything. I am your go-to person. I'm top of mind realtor. And it's all about asking the magic questions. Here's another magic question for you. Hey, Ray, who do you know? And then whatever question you want to ask, who do you know that's outgrown their condo? Who do you know that just got married? Who do you know that just experienced a death in the family? You understand that every life event generally affects real estate, right? Every life event affects real estate somehow. Who do you know that just lost their job? Tough questions. But so who do you know question? Who do you know that's paying over $2,000 in rent? So again, when you have these conversations, ask the questions. I put down here daily prospecting hours, at least 3 hours a day, man. I'll guarantee you, if you just do this, every day, 200 days out the year, you will earn millions in real estate. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you prospected for 3 hours in one day? Pure prospecting, whether it's knocking on doors, making a phone call, sending out the email, sending out the text messages, calling for sale by owners, the expires, calling the NODs, right? When was the last time? 3 hours. It's very difficult, but you know what? If you create the habit and routine, you'll kill it. It just becomes second nature. It becomes second nature. Then I ask, what are your business hours? When are you open for business? Truly, when are you open for business? Not being at home in your pajamas at 10 o'clock and someone calls and you pick up the phone. And that, to me, that's not open for business. Open for business means I woke up this morning, had my schedule, my morning routine. I'm fully dressed. I may not leave the house at all today, but I'm fully dressed and it feels like I'm working, right? And then I put, how many urgent leads do you need every month? 6 to 8. So you don't need a lot. In order to earn a lot of money in this business, you don't need thousands and thousands of leads. You need 3, 4, 5, 6 right leads, the right leads every month. Depending on how much you want to make and what these numbers look like, you only may need 2 or 3 urgent leads. So what's an urgent lead? Somebody who needs to do something in real estate in the next 2 to 3 weeks and are willing to do it with you. That's an urgent lead. Everybody else is a future lead. I'm going to do something 6 months from now. You're going to get a lot of people if you start your prospecting tomorrow and work through the next 3 months. You're going to get a lot of people going to say, I want to wait till after the holidays, which is great, which is fine. Come January, you want to say, I'm going to take 3 or 4 listings. I'm going to help 2 or 3 buyers find a property because of the work you did now, right? So I need to do right now work. Right now work means every day you got to do right now work. And then I put database. Again, total number. Say you got 800 in there. How do you take it to 2,500, right? When I was done here, guys. So the next one says 5 biggest goals for 2025. I call this my 3x3 sprint to success, massive action. What are my 5 biggest goals? So I just threw up here, earn 500,000 in income, purchase at least 10 front doors, 10 more front doors, units, no single family. I said sell at least $40 million in real estate, list at least 40 homes, take a 2-week vacation to Europe, Italy, right? That's my 5 biggest goals for next year. And then I put next 3 months. What are my goals for October through December? I want to list 2 to 4 properties per month. I want to carry at least 5 to 6 escrows into January. This is huge because this is where you get paid. This is where you start getting paid in January. Carry at least 5 or 6 escrows into January. I want to create a weekly email campaign to my database. I want to find a geographic farm area with 2,500 records. I look for 500 absentee owners in zip code 89117. That happens to be the zip code I live in. But again, this is for the next 3 months. I'm generating a new campaign. I want new escrows. I want to be listing properties. This is what the next 3 months. And then I put first 6 months for 2025, list at least 25 properties by June 30th. I put close at least 15 homes for 250,000 by June 30th. I put hire an assistant by the end of the first quarter, working 25 hours a week. Because if I'm doing this kind of business, I need help. I need help. I need big help. And then I said recruit 20 to 25 realtors to my team. That's the grow global part of it, right? So again, what are your 5 biggest goals? What do you want to do over the next 3 months? And what do you want to do the first 6 months? This basically takes up 9 months, right? And then the last one, here's the last one. I want to be done by 9:45, and it looks like I'm going to make it. So here's my daily schedule for success, daily action plan. And this is what my day looks like from a different standpoint of coaching, but I put it together for realtors. So I put plan your day the night before, identify your 3 to 5 priorities for the following day. This is imperative. If you do this, this is a game changer because you wake up the next day knowing exactly what you need to do and what your priorities are. I have a strong morning routine and get in the office early by 8:15. You must clock in every day. That was coined by one of my realtors, Dion. He said, Coach, I'm clocking in every day. I said, I like that. I want to give Dion credit. He might be on here. I want to give him credit. You must clock in every day. You must work on your skill set 30 to 45 minutes, reading and practicing scripts and watching the videos. You got to do that. You got to work on that mindset and that skill set every day. You must proactive lead generate for a minimum of 1 to 4 hours per day without fail. I said, follow up on all leads. Remember, the fortune's in the follow-up. If you have a geographic farm, preview properties and work in your farm area. Appointments. Work in your database for at least 30 minutes a day, updating and adding a new contacts. If you're prospecting every day, you should be adding 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 names to your database. You got to do this. Negotiating contracts, checking on all your listings, open escrows, real estate loans, etc. Taking a new listing, loan application, or opening a new escrow. I said social media posts, email, text, ringless voicemail. Got to do something every day. That's social media. You should be doing 2 or 3 a day. It's free. Takes you a couple, 2 or 3 minutes to do a reel, to do a quick Facebook post. I think most people are just camera shy. They don't know what to say, so they don't do it. Man, you need to do this. Man, you need to do this. I put close out your day at the same time and turn off real estate. But 37 years, this was the hardest thing for me to do because my mind is constantly racing. Constantly racing. I could not turn off real estate. I'm always thinking about something and doing something. I couldn't turn it off until about 3 years ago. And I decided at 7 p.m. or whenever 8 p.m., some days depending, I'm going to do my plan for the next day, and then I'm not doing any more real estate. I actually put a notification on my phone to shut it off because I couldn't shut it off. I'd be on the phone at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, 10, 11, 1, 2 in the morning talking to clients, just obsessed with it. But now I'm a little bit older. I can't carry that kind of schedule anymore. Then I said, go to bed at the same time. So that's kind of the business plan and where we stand. Like I said, it is crucial for you to have a business plan. It is crucial for you to say, you know what, I'm not going to do what I did this year and start the year without a plan and just kind of be out there roaming, not knowing really where I want to go, what I want to do. I need you all to just buy in and get a business plan and then go to work. Like I said, New Year's is tomorrow. The real estate New Year's tomorrow. Big John, Kim, Rob, I'm turning it back over to you.
DP3, thanks for bringing the heat. And we're going to ask everybody if they've got any questions, they can raise their hand or put them in the chat and we'll go through them. There's been some great comments already. You know, some of the things that I thought of, you know, because I was looking at the numbers you put in, and that's what your goals are, right? And the great thing about real estate is you can make as much or as little as you want. So for some of you guys that are looking at those numbers and say, wow, that workload seems a little rough for me, you know, and that's okay. That then maybe you don't want to make the kind of money that DP3 is putting out there, and maybe you just dial it down a little bit. And maybe you're looking at that on the other side and saying, you know what, I'm gonna make $1 million a year. The greatest thing is what he's done is he's laid the formula out for you for the activity that's going to be required for you to get to that income. So everything's relative, everything relates. So I just wanted to point that out for some folks that might be like, well, I don't want to work that hard. I got family stuff. I got other things going on. I just don't want to make that kind of commitment. I can't make that kind of commitment. That's okay. Just do what you can do to get to where you want to go and where you can go. So the other thing he talked about is, and I see this all the time, is people that, you know, say, hey, I don't know what to say on the scripts. You talked about that on your last slide to do the videos and stuff. I'm telling you guys, the best tool for that is ChatGPT. If you have not downloaded ChatGPT, you learn how to ask that thing the proper questions. It will come up with exactly what you need to say in your scripts. And I challenge everybody. I challenge everybody on this call, go download ChatGPT. If you have not done so, if you don't have ChatGPT on your phone, go download it. It's a free tool. And here's the main reason why you got to download it is because your competitors are already using it. They're already getting the advantage of ChatGPT and they're implementing it into their business. And you're competing not only with them, but with the greatest AI technology that's telling them exactly, that's giving them the words to say that your clients want to hear. So why don't you implement ChatGPT and use that technology to benefit yourself? So anyway, let's go into some questions here. If anybody's got some questions, raise your hand, type them in the chat. Give me a minute here. I'm gonna kind of step through or browse through the chat here real quick. And oh, by the way, DP3, can you hold up the book, please?
Yeah, sure can.
Sure. So this is the workbook, and DP3 went over 4 pages of the workbook. This thing has 32 pages in it that will totally get you set up and dialed in. And here's what he's going to do for anybody that wants to buy the workbook. It's $75 shipped to you. anybody that wants to buy the workbook, DP3 is going to have a free or include, I don't want to say free because you're paying the $75, but also included with the workbook is going to be a 2 to 3 hour coaching session walking you through exactly what you need to do to fill everything out, to line up your goals for 2025. So not only will you finish 2024 with a bang, you'll go flying into 2025 and have the best year of your career. So, and if you want to take advantage of that, how do we take advantage of that, DP3?
You can. I put my number in the chat. I put my email in the chat. You can just call me, email me, however you want to do it, and I'll get. I'm making post office run today and tomorrow. I'll have it in the mail today or tomorrow, and you'll have it in a couple of days. Although Kim hasn't gotten hers book yet, I think it has something to do with the weather, though. More
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. For any of our friends that are in the you know, the pathway of the hurricane and have been affected by that, our prayers go out to you. You know, we're wishing everybody the best as they try to get up on their feet. As a matter of fact, Stacy Lambright, who is one of our facilitators, she's not on the call today. She's talking about putting together a collection to send to some of those folks that have been affected by this. So if you want to reach out to Stacy, if you want to participate, feel free to do that. Stacy Lambright. But anyway, you know, a lot of folks are saying great training. Jennifer Mendoza asked, how do we get more information on your coaching?
Just call me.
Just reach out to him.
Just reach out to me. The
He's
number's in the
He's got
chat.
his number in the chat.
And guys, also the pages that he went over today, the blank page will be up in ygrowglobal.com tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. So
Thanks, Rob.
You guys will be able to play around with that for sure. So check the Why Grow Global website tomorrow. Julie, do you know where you're going to be putting that?
It's going to be under resources, John.
Okay, it'll be under resources. So yeah, check for that tomorrow. Ygrowglobal.com. Click on the resources tab, and you'll be able to download it and play around with it. So that'll be fantastic. So LaShonda Fuller says fantastic training. Thanks for sharing. Tracy Boss Moves Wiggins says ChatGPT is her best business friend.
Yep.
Tracy Boss Moves Wiggins says it's her best business friend. You know that's something that you need to check out. You know, David Plummer put his number in there. The workbook collaboration session in January. You know, so anyway, okay, yep.
John, we'll probably be doing the training in the next 2 weeks because we need to get it done early.
We got to get that runway going, right?
Yeah. So we'll probably do it. I'm going to say tentatively we'll probably do it on the 12th of October.
Okay.
But I want
October tentatively, and everybody will get a message about it from DP3 to let you guys know when that is. But start kind of blocking off some time now for that, so you guys have the best 2025, not only in business but in life.
Yeah, and it'll be 1 p.m. probably 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Western Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
So like it could be like.
Yeah, and then next week, oh my God, next week, effective negotiations. We have, man, we're gonna have a powerhouse lineup. I mean, it's just like 2 weeks in a row of DP3, and then these three on a panel. Oh my God, get ready. We have Alex Montagano, Stephanie Gillison, and Tony Williams. I mean, there's just a ton of experience right there. Here's our, you know, here's from our website on the events tab. And what's cool about there is you can see what we're going to be talking about. Just go to ygrowglobal.com, click on the events tab, and you'll see next week our powerful lineup. So don't miss it. Bring a friend. Same time, same channel, same link. And, you know, we appreciate you being here, and we look forward to seeing you next week as we help you guys with effective negotiation strategies. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Have a great week. Go out and crush it this week. Go list a bunch of houses. Get a bunch of buyers under contract, and let's crush it. And I can't wait to see everybody again next week.
Great award-winning show, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.